Hey folks, Ultimate Survival Technologies brand ambassador Todd the Hiker here today. I want to talk to you about the Ultimate Survival Technologies FeatherLite First Aid Kit 1.0. This is a small personal first aid kit from Ultimate Survival Technologies. The FeatherLite series also has a 2.0 and a 3.0 kit. At the end of this, I'll pop up a graphic that'll show you a comparison of what's in each one of those different versions of the FeatherLite kit. Nice thing about this is it's small, it's compact, it's lightweight, only weighs 2.9 ounces. You can see about the size of my hand. That will actually tuck nicely inside of a coat pocket, maybe even a shirt pocket if you've got a pocket on your shirt. Tuck it in the cargo pants pocket, or tuck it in an accessible spot in your backpack, and it's not going to add any weight to speak of. Before you go out, I think it's important that you know how to do some basic first aid. You can read a book, but I always recommend taking a first aid course where you're actually going to get some hands-on experience, interaction, probably run through some different scenarios. It's just a great thing to learn those skills before you actually need them in the outdoors. You know, you can start with something as basic as a Red Cross first aid and CPR course. I've taken those over the years a couple times. Red Cross also offers a wilderness and remote first aid course. It's a little bit more extensive course, couple days, 2-3 days if I remember right, and it'll cost you a little bit more, but I believe really worth it if you're going to spend a lot of time outdoors. And the nice thing is you also get materials that you can take with you to refer back to and kind of keep your skills up to date that way. There's also a number of other organizations that offer wilderness first aid. National Outdoor Leadership School is one, and the Outward Bound, this was a book that was the reference for a Wilderness Medical Associates wilderness first aid course that I took. Highly recommend taking one of those if you're going to spend a lot of time outdoors. Another thing I recommend, so I've also got a very large expedition kind of kit I keep here. I take groups out, so this is stocked with a few more items. But one of the things I recommend, and it's good even with a small kit, is just inventorying that kit. You probably don't need to get as fancy as I have with this one. I actually keep an inventory list, keep track of how much stuff I've got in there. I keep a copy of that in my kit as well as on my computer, so I can go through, I can mark off expiration dates on items like medications and things like that that I might keep in there that are going to expire. Just good to review that stuff, especially if you're going to go out on a big adventure outdoors. You want to make sure your kit is stocked and you've got all the items you're going to need if you're going to be out there for any length of time. So with that, I'm going to jump in and go through what's actually in the FeatherLite First Aid Kit 1.0. One of the other things I like here about this kit is the items are packaged in Ziploc baggies inside of there. That's nice, rather than having a whole bunch of little individual items that might fly out all over the place when you open your kit. So we'll go through each of these. This one has just got 12 antiseptic towelettes. Good to clean up your hands before you work on a wound, or clean up the area around the wound and keep it from getting infected. Also in here I've got some various sizes, 1 by 3, 3 by 1/4 inch, and 1.5 by 0.4. Adhesive bandages. That's actually the thing I probably have used most over the years, is bandages for small cuts and scrapes. You're hiking with kids and they fall down and have a little minor scrape or barely visible cut, for that matter, on their knee or something like that. You put a band-aid on it and boy, they're just ready to go. And also another thing that I always carry with me in any of my kits is Moleskin. If you've ever had a hot spot or a blister, this stuff works a charm. Cut a piece of that off of there, patch up over that hot spot, and that'll keep you from turning that into a blister. I've even had to put this over the top of a blister before, clean it up, stick this on there, and it can certainly make things a lot better, keep your feet from getting any more damaged when you're out hiking. And there's also butterfly closures in there. And last but not least, we've got the little medicine kit. It's got some sting and bite pads. It's got a couple of acetaminophen, a couple of aspirin, some triple antibiotic ointment, and some burn cream. So you'll see a full list, the inventory of what's in here at the end. Another nice thing with this kit, so there's not a lot of room in this pouch, but you might want a couple of either other items, personal items, or perhaps like I like to have some things for maybe a larger wound than I might be able to patch up with just an adhesive bandage. So there's room in here. I could put in a couple of gauze pads, tuck those in there, and something else that's nice to keep in there, and this is actually another product from Ultimate Survival Technologies. They've got these little rolls of duct tape you can get 2 to a pack. I've got some of the orange ones here. I'm gonna pull one of those out and we can tuck that in there. And I also like to keep rolled gauze. The gauze pads and the gauze roll will be helpful if you need something to cover up a little bit bigger wound and to stop some more bleeding than you might be able to handle with just a bandage. So you've got room in this kit if you need it, if you want it to expand. Otherwise, you've got the basics to cover minor cuts, burns, scrapes, and blisters with Moleskin. And some medications, like I say, you've got some Acetaminophen and some aspirin, which will be good for aches and pains and whatnot. And we'll tuck all that stuff back in there just to show you it fits. And we will zip that up. There you go. Ultimate Survival Technologies FeatherLite First Aid Kit 1.0. Perfect to tuck away in your backpack. Nice little personal kit. If you're on a big outing with a group of people, you might have one person that's carrying the group kit and maybe a couple of people, or maybe even each individual. I know with scouts they like to have each person carry a individual kit for themselves as well, which this would fit the bill really well for that. So there you go. That's that. Now it's time to get outdoors, stay safe, and happy trails. Todd the Hiker out.